Alors, bienvenue chez l'appel conférence pour Ringside MMA 12 qui va avoir lieu le 21 octobre. I will be translating this to English in a few moments. On va avoir un main event de Paul Semtex Daley contre Luigi Fioravanti. Alors, sur l'appel d'aujourd'hui, c'est les questions spécifiquement pour Paul Semtex Daley, qui nous ajoute de rejoindre Amsterdam. Il va avoir il est en train d'avoir son formation, son entraînement. Alors, on était chanceux de l'avoir avant son entraînement. Hello, everyone. It's Ringside MMA 12, the conference call for October 21st at the Bell Center. We currently have Mr. Eric Champoux here with us, as well as Paul Semtex Daley. He is presently on the line with us now. We will make sure that all our questions will be referred to Paul Daley to start with, and then afterwards we will have a question period for Mr. Eric Champoux. Toutes les questions, pour commencer, vont être pour Paul Daley. Paul Semtex Daley, et après, par la suite, on peut avoir des questions pour M. Eric Champoux, président du Ringside MMA, president of Ringside MMA. Also here with us is Caroline Audette from Eventco, and myself, Gary Whitaker, who is the host for the call. On a aussi Caroline Audette de Eventco et moi-même, Gary Whitaker, qui est votre maître de cérémonie, si vous voulez, pour Ringside. Et moi, les appels de conférence présentement. So, today, right now, it's Paul Semtex Daley, as you know, 28 victories in MMA, 20 by way of spectacular KO. He is known as one of the most feared strikers, if not the most feared striker in MMA, and Ringside MMA has the pleasure and honor of bringing him here to Montreal, October 21st at the Bell Center to take on Luigi Fioravanti. This is a great moment here at the Bell Center and Ringside MMA for this top-notch card, top-notch main event. And we have him here on the line with us right now. Paul Daley, how's it going today?
Like every other day here in Amsterdam, I'm tired. So, you know, we're out here, we're training hard. So it has to be done, I guess.
And right now we've got a host of media here that are looking forward to answering for your answers to their questions. We're going to take the questions one by one, so for the media, if you will just please announce your name, where you are from, before asking your question, and I will make sure that we try to get to each and all of your questions before time expires. So, first question?
Frédéric Garcia, MMA Nouvelle. Paul, this is going to be your 5th fight of the year. How is your body feeling? Is there any tiredness from all these fights?
Right now, yeah, my body's tired, but that's not from the fights. That's just from the training out here. You know, early on in my career, I fought a lot of back-to-back fights. I have a lot of fights if you look at my record compared to, you know, other people at my level. So I'm used to fighting regularly. That doesn't have a factor on my body, but you know, when you have to train a lot and hard, sometimes it can be tiring, but you know, I have a week to go, and that's plenty of time to rest and recuperate and you know, get ready for the fight.
We recently saw Dan Hardy train with GSP. Have you thought of coming at TriStar?
Yeah, we will be at TriStar. You know, another one of my teammates, Andre Winner, has trained with GSP out there in Montreal a couple of times, and you know, they're quite good friends and they talk a lot. So we arranged with George and Faraz to come out there and train, you know, to make the way out there and do any last bit of technical stuff that we have to do.
Thank you.
Okay, next question?
Julian Thomas, the Class Montreal MMA News. I was just wondering, you've cut quite a bit since being cut from the UFC after the Montreal event. When you were offered a fight in Montreal, what were your thoughts on that? Was it anything special to come back to this city?
Well, initially I didn't know the event was going to be at the Bell Center. I knew, obviously, Ringside MMA was a Canadian promotion, but I wasn't, you know, 100% on where the venue was going to be. And I think it's quite fitting that the event is back at the Bell Center, and you know, it gives me a chance to redeem myself, not only to win where I last lost, but to put on a good sportsmanlike performance and show that what happened last time was just, you know, a moment of craziness.
Okay, next question.
Nicolas Landry, d'RDS.ca. Paul, about what happened that night versus Koscheck, Is it something that you still often think about? Is it a big deal to you, or you kind of put it behind you since then?
Yeah, I've kind of put it behind me. I don't really have no time to dwell on it because, you know, I still have to pursue my career and, you know, be the best fighter that I can and make enough money so that I can live and enjoy doing a job that I have and being involved in the sport. So I have to move forward.
Thank you, Nicolas. Next question.
James Bryden, Sportsnet.ca. Hey, Paul. I guess a question has to be asked about your weight. How's it going? And you'll make weight for this fight?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that I'll make weight for this fight. There hasn't been a time where I've trained in Amsterdam and not made weight. So, you know, they're pretty hard on me out here. They don't take no prisoners, and we're doing a lot of things to make sure that I'm on the way.
Sorry, repeat that about take no prisoners.
Sorry.
Repeat that. What you said about take no prisoners.
Take no prisoners out here. So
in Montreal, you mean?
No,
or in Amsterdam.
Here in Amsterdam.
Okay.
There's no favoritism. They don't care about who I am or whatever. It's just you need to make weight, and I have to do whatever I have to do that. So that's cool.
And how long have you been training there? And you said you're going to be training at TriStar next week?
Yeah, I've been in Amsterdam. I'll be here for a week, but I've been coming to Amsterdam for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
I could maybe 6 or more times a year. And TriStar will just be out for a couple of days just to go, the 4 days I think before the fight, just to, you know, go over the game plan, work with George a little bit, see if there's any tips that you can give me, and yeah, just get the fight head on.
Okay. And lastly, you've also been fighting in the British promotion Bama, and I assume you'll continue to do that at the same time, and you'll be fighting Montreal.
I'm not sure if the Bama fight in December is going to happen. To be honest with you, it's not something that I'm thinking about, and you know, I'm more or less, for me, this is the last fight of the year, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, James. Next question for Mr. Paul Semtex Daley.
Frederic Garcia, MMA Nouvelle. If we could go back on your recent suspension from the Montreal Commission, have you had any dealings with them since your next fight with Fioravanti has been announced?
Yeah, well, my management has. The Montreal Commission were very helpful and very understanding immediately after the Koscheck incident. You know, I think they treated us very fairly, but you know, they didn't take sides or whatever. You know, they just looked at it for what it was, and I think they've been very helpful in the build-up to this fight in working with my manager, and a few issues that we had have been ironed out. And you know, I forgot the guy's name, but there's a particular guy in the commission who's, you know, who's been like gold. You know, he's really gone out of his way to make sure that I'm fully aware of everything, and that when I get out there, I'm comfortable. So the commission has been very, very good.
The next question for Mr. Paul Semtex Daley, who is making his return to Montreal October 21st at the Bell Center, mainlining the main event for Ringside 12 against Luigi Fioravanti.
Vincent Morin, Agence QMI.
Go ahead, Vincent.
Oui, I'd like to know what do you think about your next opponent?
Fioravanti, I think he's a very tough guy. He comes out of a good team, ATT. You know, they don't put out you know, weak fighters. All the fighters are strong there, and they're going to present a tough test to anybody that's fighting them. That being said, I feel that I should be able to dispose of this guy in spectacular fashion and within the 3-minute round. But I expect him to be tough and coming forward and, you know, making a good fight of it.
And next question for Mr. Paul Daley, the veteran of the UFC and, of course, Strikeforce.
Yes, Julian again. What are your thoughts? You've been pretty public about your desire to get back to the UFC. Do you think it's a big enough name to make a difference when it comes to that?
I'm not really thinking too much about the size of the name, but more so the opportunity. You know, it's, like I say, it's a bit of a godsend that I'm able to return to the Bell Center on such a great promotion as Ringside MMA, and you know, rewrite those wrongs and, you know, just to show that I can be a sportsman, and I can put on an entertaining fight. The costume fight was one of the greatest fights, and I don't want the people of Montreal to think that that's my style or that's how I like to go about doing business. I've made the adjustments, and my wrestling's much more better. I'm stronger. My takedown defense is much more better, and my submission defense is always constantly improving. So I'm there to entertain and show the fans there that what Suntex is really all about, and knock this kid out quick.
Do you still have any aggression at this point? But over here towards Josh Koscheck, what are your feelings towards him at this point?
Koscheck, I have no feelings towards him. He's a fighter. He's a good fighter. His last fight against Matt Hughes was cool, and as a fighter, he's a good guy. He performs.
We have a question for Mr. Paul Daley. That is, with George St. Pierre in a recent video, Paul said that you were one of the most dangerous strikers in the UFC. What are your thoughts about George's praise of you and your skills?
Well, I've met George when he was over in the UK, in Manchester, and he seemed like a cool guy. He gets along with a lot of the guys that I train with, such as Tom Watson, who trains out there, Greg Jackson's, and like I said previously, Andre Winner, who's been out there a couple of times, and I know those guys talk a lot on the phone, and are quite good friends. So I think more so than our personalities, it's more so than just about fighting. I think we have I think we're all on the same mindset, and I appreciate the good stuff that is said about me as far as my striking goes, and it'd be good to get out there and train with him, and see how he handles it, and see if he is, see if he still gives me the praises after we have a little spar, a little play around. I'm sure it'll be real interesting. Anyway.
All right, thank you. We have time for two last. We make it good.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, but I was not wondering. You've been working your defensive wrestling. Will we ever see wrestling to the point where you use it as an offensive weapon for takedowns, or is it just?
I've used defensive wrestling for takedowns in previous fights, in quite a lot of my early fights, and more recently against George Masvidal and over in Canada against John Livingston. I took John Masvidal down as well, but it's more for me. I just fight, and if the opportunity comes up, then I'll take it. I don't come out of the corner charging for a takedown. I just start to go with the flow of the fight and just fight, like water, like Bruce Lee. I just try and be as good as I can be everywhere. If a takedown is there, then I'll take it. But if nothing's in my head, to start with, but obviously start standing, so I want to be the best there.
Okay, we have time for one last question, and someone can put themselves on mute because we do hear some extra audio on the call. That will be perfect. Time for one last question for Paul Daley.
Yeah, Paul, could you talk about your fight against Jordan Radev, and were you satisfied with your performance, even though you couldn't finish him?
Yeah, I think my coaches are really happy with my performance against Jordan Radev, because a lot of my fans were as well, because obviously my fans usually see me come out and I steamroll a guy and I knock him out in the first or second round, but there's not been many opportunities for me to put on a full display of my skills comfortably. I'm either worrying about the takedown or whatever, or something like this, but now I'm so confident in my takedown defense that I'm able to just relax and just let things go. So, I had a fun time in there against Jordan Radev. I was able to do a lot of stuff that I've been working on that people haven't seen me do in a long time, and just mix it up and go for my full arsenal. Including that bench, Jordan Radev was on the Olympic team. He was an Olympic wrestler for the Bulgarian team, so he wasn't just some meat that they threw in there for me. He presented a real dangerous, problem that I dealt with. So I'm ready to go onwards and upwards.
Thank you, Mr. Paul Daley. We want to thank you for taking the time with us. Everyone stay tuned. Stay on the line, please. We will have a question period for President of Ringside MMA, Eric Champeau. You will, of course, be able to catch Paul Semtex Daley in his main event fight against Luigi Fioravanti, October 21st at the Bell Center. It will be a spectacular main event with Paul Semtex Daley. 28 wins, 20 by way of KO. George St. Pierre called him the most spectacular striker in mixed martial arts. You'll find out why on October 21st.